What was your mindset going into this season, your senior season?
Well, obviously the same mindset as before. Want to come out and win the conference. Working with the teammates, but obviously, senior year, like you said, is a little different. It's kind of different thing. It's your last year on the field. You want to make the best of it. So definitely coming in, working hard, being prepared for it. Then when you get here, give it your all. Senior year, it's not going to be here next year. So definitely mindset of last year.
You mentioned working hard. That definitely paid dividends in your 102-yard kickoff return for a TD, 3 receiving touchdowns. What did that game mean to you?
Well, first conference game, it meant a lot. Momentum going into the second game with a tough opponent, Monmouth coming up. But really just the push we have. All the guys are focused and everything. You can really tell, how much people believe in us this year. So the mindset going in was just first conference game. We knew we played pretty well the first 2 games. Cornell, we kind of struggled with them. We beat them 1 year. It was a close game my freshman year. They really beat us. We really beat them. So it's kind of up in the air what was going to happen. We just prepared hard. Had a good mindset coming in. Get conference going. A good W.
After that first, return touchdown, what impact did that have on your teammates? You saw probably going back to the sidelines. They were all amped up. What impact did that have?
Oh yeah, everyone was just pumped. It's one of those things where we knew we were going to break one. We prepared for it, schemed out. We knew where the hole was going to be. And once we finally broke it, we kind of, the silence was just lifted up. It was like, what a better start to conference play than that. Breaking 100-something yard kick return. It just got everyone going, momentum going. And then that next kickoff too, same thing. We got the ball back, kind of like we schemed out. It just, like I said, lifted everyone up, got the momentum going. There was really no doubt the entire game. Not once did we doubt that we were going to lose, that we were the better team. It was just really getting the momentum going from the beginning. Kept us going, kept us focused, and made us believe.
In addition to that return touchdown, you also had 3 receiving touchdowns. What's your relationship with Jagan Cleary? He has a lot of other receivers on his side. Willie, who also was a senior. What's your off the field and off the field relationship?
Well, we have a pretty loose relationship. I'd say all of us receivers and Jagan. We joke around a lot. You always kind of give him a little pat on the butt or something. Hopefully he'll come to you a little more. Try to get that relationship with him. But off the field, we all we hang out after classes and whatnot. Like I said, joke around, laugh. Kind of not too serious a relationship in the sense where we're serious about football, but every time we're in a meeting together, every time we throw the ball together, it's fun. Like we have fun together. There's always someone joking around, whether it's me, Willie, Chris, Krevy, but Jagan, he always gives a good laugh too. His jokes really aren't the best all the time, but he just laughs a lot. So I think that's what makes us so so diverse, and we have all these weapons. There's not one of us that really is selfish, I guess I could say, because I'm happy with, if Willie has a great game, I'm happy with it. If I have a great game, Willie's happy with it, everyone else happy with it. Sorby's happy with it. If Sorby has a great game, we're all we just want to win. So just the relationship we all have together, with Jagan is just whoever's open, give him the ball. And I think that's what makes us pretty good right now.
Both of you are seniors. You and Willie McIntyre. What's your relationship with Willie? You're the only 2 seniors in the wide receiver group among a pretty diverse group. You got some freshmen, sophomores, some juniors as well. And how are you leaders in the group?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. Me and Willie definitely. I think we're, we always compete against each other. That's for sure. Ever since we got here, we've been competing with each other. Me and Willie have a good relationship. We probably joke around the most out of the entire senior group. But that being said, we also are very serious when we need to be serious, in the sense we're in practice time. Yeah, we could joke around a little bit, but when we need to pick it up, we pick it up. We could joke around with the younger guys, but just the competing aspect, you can compete and still joke around. And like I said, the seriousness has to come out. And we definitely lead the team. We probably know the playbook. Obviously the freshmen don't. They know the playbook, but not as well as Willie and myself know the playbook. We've been here the longest. So helping them out. They come to us. We help them out with plays. Drawing up plays. Kind of when they're confused, when to convert this route to that. So I think we're definitely leaders. On the field and off the field. That kind of comes with being here. I definitely wouldn't say I was that big of a leader my freshman and sophomore year. It just comes with experience, and me and Willie are pretty close off the field as well. So that definitely translates on the field. Leading the younger guys. Showing them the way.
What effect has wide receivers coach Daniels had on your development here at Lake Forest?
He's had definitely a huge impact on me. So I don't know if you know, but I came in as a running back. Never played receiver in my life. So the transition was pretty big. Coach Daniels wasn't actually the receiver coach my first year coming out. But that first year when I was going back and forth between receivers, I wasn't with the receivers all the time. Some practices I'd be with the running backs, other practices I'd be with the receivers. So I think really when I started, actually understanding it and like getting the concepts is when, Coach Daniels was here his first year here, and he's a competitor, just like all of us are competitors. He spends the time with us to get us to understand the routes, the concepts, how to get off blocks. He's always pushing us to be the best that we can. He actually pushes us more in practice than he does in the game because, obviously, the better you practice, the better you're going to play in the game. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me because, like I said, the transition from, going in high school, getting the ball 20 to 30 times a game, playing running back, coming here as a freshman, moving to receiver, getting the ball maybe 2 times a game as a freshman, 3 times a game, and then, going to receiver full-time and still only getting the ball 4 times a game, 5 times a game. You got to understand your role on the team, and I think he really helped me transition into that, because it's pretty tough, when you're used to getting the ball and not getting the ball. I had plenty of conversations with him. He's a great leader, and he definitely played a big part in kind of where I'm at now.
Coming from the, you come from around the area, Beach Park, Illinois, and you played at Zion Benton. You mentioned you were a running back, but did you catch some passes while there as a receiver? Did you, run some routes as a running back?
The most routes I ran was a little screen pass. No, I never got out into the receiving. I pretty much was strictly running back there. Play a little bit of safety, but just running back. Didn't even return over there. Our running back was pretty much run the ball and didn't really get out in too many routes.
Well, with Zion Benton, you played 3 sports, football, baseball, and basketball. Did you ever think of doing a Bo Jackson and, playing multiple sports here at Lake Forest?
I thought about it. During the recruiting process, actually one of the reasons I actually even thought about not coming here, they don't have a baseball team. And I was torn between baseball and football, which one I wanted to play in college. And I ended up coming here, and it was a great choice. Obviously, I ended up wanting to play football more, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's why I kind of decided just to not even worry about baseball. Then I came here, and here I am.
Is there a specific aspect of the football program here, the coaches, the players, the history that really won you over?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things too that won me over, my sister went here, and she played volleyball here, so I was always in the atmosphere. Came to the football games. I like the field, how it's kind of smaller with the crowd. That they have the tailgates after the game, which I really enjoy, which kind of won me over a lot. Just the way they cared about you here during the recruiting process. A lot of people I talked to, you could tell they were just kind of talking. You didn't want to get there, but here they really talk to you. They tell you everything there is. You could tell they want you here, and that's kind of what won me over. And just everyone treats each other. Something special here that I didn't see in any of their schools, really. Well,
good luck next week against Monmouth, and hopefully, since I play basketball at Deer Path, hopefully you'll be reffing some of my games.
Oh yeah, I'll call fouls on you every time. 2 feet away from the defender.
Thank you so much for joining me, Alex.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks so much for joining me again this week.
Oh, it's great to be here. You've been a good luck charm so far.
Congratulations on your win last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't there all the way in Mount Vernon, Iowa to see it. A truly great performance on all sides of the ball. Does that game give you some confidence going into next week?
I think it definitely does, because what you saw was our team have great success on special teams, and that was something we'd been really working towards over the course of the last couple weeks. We had our 3rd different guy lead our receiving core. And so these are the things we wanted to see, is that balance in our offense. It's not just about Joey Valdivia running the football. It's getting different wide receivers involved and engaged. And then defensively, we were great on 3rd downs. -2 coverage errors, we really held them in check, and then we gave up a touchdown the last play of the first half, and then another one later in the second half.
So you mentioned exactly that, Coach. Normally I talk about Joey Valdivia with you, Jagan Cleary. This week, Alex Pazowitz had a fantastic game, three receiving touchdowns and a huge 102-yard return TD. How did that help your team win?
Well, the opening kickoff return for a touchdown really deflated Cornell a little bit. I think when you compound that with us recovering the ensuing kickoff and having 2 possessions that lead to touchdowns before their offense even got onto the field, you could see it on their faces that they were kind of in shock. And I think even our guys were in a pleasant shock that had happened. But having a guy like Alex, who's a senior, he's always kind of contributed in the special teams game. He's been one of our receivers. As a freshman, he was a running back. He still has one of the more important touchdowns during my career here when he scored the game-winning touchdown as a running back against Carroll his freshman year. And so he's really grown into the role and a better understanding of the offense. I think that what you saw is as Cornell really tried to take away Willie McIntyre from us, it opened things up for Alex to have some bigger plays on the front side of the formation, and he took advantage of those. And he played a really heady game. I mean, he also ran our fake punt for 27 yards for a conversion. He had over 6 yards per punt return, and so there was just some really good things going on there that were, he just really played well.
You mentioned balance among the offense. Not only does Lake Forest have Joy Valdivia, but you have a lot of great receiving weapons. How does Coach Daniels work with Coach Gardner and yourself to ensure that you use all of your weapons to your advantage?
Well, he's in our ear all the time about making sure we get certain guys the ball at different situations. But I think with the game planning that they all do together on the offensive side of the ball is they make sure that there are certain plays to get guys involved. And that way, if the opposing team's really honing in on one of our guys, we can hit one of those other guys. Against Carleton, you saw Charlie Quinn be the guy that got a lot more touches. He had 9 catches that game. And so when we have those types of situations, we want to take advantage of what the defense allows. And if we do a great job in our scout and we do a great job in-game scouting what they're doing to us, we should be able to find the guy that's going to be open. We really feel that with the wide receiving core that we have, having 3 seniors, having a senior tailback, and having a quarterback that's been extremely efficient so far, we feel that if we can get all those guys involved, nobody can focus on just one guy or one way to stop us. And, that's the real goal. It's really more pressure on Jagan to keep everybody happy. But with the play calling on the coaches, it's actually pretty easy because we just find out what the defense is trying to take away and go the opposite direction.
Your freshmen also had a huge impact on last week's game. You got to give them a lot more playing time since game was a lot more lopsided. One of your players, John Lapone, he had 8 tackles, counted for 10 freshman tackles total. How has he, grown, in only his first year here at Lake Forest?
Well, Johnny was a guy we were really excited about in recruiting, and we knew the one issue that we were going to have with Johnny, he's light. For a 6'4" guy, he's under 200 pounds, and we can't wait to get him in the offseason and get him beefed up a little bit. But his range and his knack for getting to the ball, particularly in pass coverage, is really unique. And so one of the plays that he made for a loss was actually on a pass play, and he was able to get out on a screen and make a play. But he really did some great things setting the edge for us in the run game. He got to play a little bit more, not just because of the score, but because he'd earned reps the previous week against Carleton. And so he was a guy that was out there in the first quarter playing before the lead got too big. But he's a guy we expect a lot of great things from. We spent a lot of time recruiting him, and I was his lead recruiter. I remember doing a home visit with me, Coach Nico, Coach Butts, Coach Rowan. We were all down there spending time with him. And so to have him come out here and start to have some of the success that he's been having already, I think it's just going to be a springboard for his career here.
Next week you face Monmouth, who they're tied atop the Midwest Conference standings with you. Is this the biggest game of the year for you?
Absolutely. It's this week's game. And just like we've told you the previous weeks, whatever game we're playing that week is the most important. It's the one we care about the most. It's the only one we think about. And, Monmouth this week is going to be a great challenge. They've been one of the better teams in the league the last couple of years, playing in the conference championship game last season. They are a uniquely talented team that they're kind of like us. They've got great wide receivers. They've got a really talented senior quarterback, and then they've got a big offensive line that can push people a little bit. And then on defense, they've probably got the best defensive line in the conference. Those guys are very aggressive, and they like to get after people. And so it's going to be a big challenge for us this week. But, yeah, it's the game we have this week, so it's definitely the most important.
Like you mentioned, they're big men, both on the defensive side and the offensive side. A source within the program told me that, they got a lot of big boys, really. They're feeding them a lot of the Iowa corn. How have you, prepared with Coach Myers and Coach Sonkinson to go up against them?
we really just believe it's on our guys to execute. And if our guys use the techniques they've been taught, it doesn't matter the size of the guy they're going against. The techniques are going to work no matter who they go against. I think that the other thing is, I think schematically we understand what they like to do. They know what we like to do. There's been a lot of familiarity. Coach Braun, their head coach, even though he's only been the head coach for 2 years, he's been there for over a decade. He was actually in the conference longer than I've been here. And we're two of those defensive head coaches, so we've got a lot to talk about. And I think that you're going to find that it's not going to be about the size as much as it is executing, being in the right gaps, and making sure we're sound, and then running the football on defense and on offense, finishing plays. If we do those two things, good things will happen, and that's kind of our goal, is to create as many good opportunities and good things as we can.
But do you feel, because you face somewhat undersized offensive lines, kind of like Carleton, do you feel there might be a little bit of a difference in your guys?
I think how I kind of look at it is that our offensive line's pretty big. I mean, Andrew Johnson's 6'4", 275 pounds. We've got big guys on our team and strong guys. And so if we can use those, the practice reps that we get against them with our defensive line, that should help. I also think that the savviness that I would expect, Brendan Power to have as a senior captain on our defensive line, and Tim Finucane, who's been a multi-year starter, they know how to play against bigger, stronger players, and they know the things that they need to kind of incorporate this week that maybe they didn't have to a week ago against Cornell, to make sure that we've got got those guys moving in the right direction and reestablishing the line of scrimmage.
What do you feel is Monmouth's biggest weapon?
Everything. No, they on the offensive side of the ball, Tanner Matlick, who's their senior quarterback, he's a dual threat quarterback. He's really improved his proficiency in the short passing game this year. It's something you can definitely see on film that they spend a lot of time on. He's a guy that can hurt us with his legs. Despite being 6'4" and 230 pounds, he can take off and run. And the big offensive lineman that he has in front of him will create some of those seams. They're 3 tailbacks. People talk about their first 2 because they're yards that they get, but all 3 of the tailbacks that they have are very talented football players. They've got all conference players at that position, just like we do, and so I really think that's going to be a challenge. When we're on the defensive side of the ball, there's not that one thing. They're kind of like us. There's not that one thing they can focus on, and I think for our offense, it's about executing. Last year, if you watch our game against them, we really felt like we under-executed. They did some great things to force us into not executing well. If we can clean that up and play a little bit better, we should have a much different end result. It doesn't guarantee us a win, but it'll be a lot closer game than it was last year.
And finally, Coach, now that you're back at home, next week is Benny Waters Memorial Day. What has Benny meant to the program throughout the years?
Benny Waters is the single most important thing to come into our football program since I've been here. And, some of the guys that are on the team now don't have as direct a connection as some of our alums do. But at the time that Benny came to our program, we were kind of a middling football program that didn't have a lot of focus. We were really trying to change the culture, and the care that our team gave to Benny as one of their own, and the way that they adopted him into our family is truly special. And you're seeing some of that now with our guys, with Brandon, where they've had the chance to adopt him, or have him come onto the team with us. And Benny's one of those lasting icon figures in our football program. When you go down into the basement of our building and you walk there and you see the big mural that's down there, Benny's one of the prominent features on there. And when our alums come back, they're always stopping in to see his parents, and maybe going up to Chiefs to have a bite to eat or something like that. But Benny's one of those guys who he brought a spirit to our program of fun and enjoyment and laughter that I don't think we were quite having at that time. And I know that there's a number of guys within our football program's history, and some of our alums, Sal Perales, Coach Butts, who were players during that time. And there's not a day that goes by where that influence isn't there. You can go into our offices right now, Coach Butts' office, my office. There's still pictures of us with Benny. There's still the Facebook memories and things like that. And every so often during the course of the year, there's different events, whether it's Eric and Kathy on the radio show, or being down at Children's Hospital in Chicago, where you get some of those memories back, and it's something that will never leave us. It was truly a special part of our program. It's something we're living. We keep breathing life into. There's a Benny Waters Scholarship on campus, and there's our scout team players of the year at our banquet. It's the Benny Waters Award, and so it's something that's really we're keeping that as a big part of our program. In April, we still have our Benny Waters mini golf tournament that our guys do every year, and so that was the last event that Benny did with our team. Before he passed away, there was that, and he came to one of our games. And so we still hold on to his memory and have that mini golf tournament every year. And it's kind of cool because it's never who has the lowest score wins, because that's not why Benny played mini golf. Sometimes it's who has the worst score or the close to worst score. Sometimes it's who's the best dressed. There's different ways to win it, and it's always fun to have his parents out there to have that event.
Thank you so much for joining me this week, Coach. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. It's good to be here.